Hey guys, here's a quick video on how to use your equity to complement the blog and our article. So I'll get my face out of the way and minimize it. I should put it over here and put this over here. So ready for some amazing pictures. Pick the brush. Now let's assume you've got a house. It could be your own home. It could be an investment property. And the value of that property is $1 million. Now your current loan amount is, say, 200K. Loan equals 200K. Your equity in this property is the difference between the value and the loan amount. So if the loan is 1 million, the value is 1 million, the loan's 200,000, you've got 800K in equity. Now, the way the bank establishes this is normally they'll give you up to 80% of the value of this property, 80% of the loan to value ratio without paying LMI. So if you go up to 80%, that's the 80% threshold, you could get a loan up to 800K. So your available equity is the $200,000 that you've already got as a loan, less the amount that the bank will lend you up to, which is 800K. That's $600,000. Now, for all of you healthcare professionals, your health benefit is you can go up to 95% if you're a tier 1 doctor, specialist, etc. Or if you, everybody else can go up to 90%, which means that you can go up to either 950K or $900,000. So you can see there's a huge difference here. Your available equity here, AE, available equity is, for people that can go up to 90%, 200 plus, or 200 minus 900,000, 700K. And then in this one's here, available equity equals 750,000. Now, we have to be careful because just because you can use all this equity doesn't necessarily mean you want to. This is going to be debt against your property, whether it's your own home or an investment property. Now, what some people like to do is limit the amount of cash they pull out on the loan. And I'll show you what I mean by that. They will, I'll just pause and remove all this. They will look to limit the amount of equity that they pull out on their property by minimizing it so that the amount of debt they have against their own home is very, very little. So what we might do is increase the loan amount by, say, 250,000. You can use this as a deposit towards buying your next property. Let's assume you want to go out and buy another $1 million property. You would put in 20% as cash, which is about 50 or 200K. And then you might use the additional $50,000 towards costs. And your cost might be stamp duty, solicitors' fees, reports and stuff. All of that may equal 50K. Some people might want to get a buyer's agent. Maybe you want to pull that extra so that you can do some renovations or do a small development. But what happens here is you isolate most of the debt into this property here. So your own home, its current investment remains largely unencumbered, and you're putting all the debt over here. So you have 20% cash in here. All of this is debt. So the total value is 1 mil. The debt of the loan equals 800K. Now, the reason why people do this is because they're trying to increase the amount of assets that they own. And if you go off long-term historical figures for the property market, they're chasing growth or they're looking to build up a portfolio. So I'll show you what that means then. In this instance, you've got a total value of $2 million and the total lending of 200 plus 250 is 450 plus another 800,000. 0.25 mil. Now, what they say historically is if you hold a property for about 10 to 15 years, property values will tend to double. They compound by 7% on average. So suddenly you've got 2 million, which turns into 4 million worth of property. And let's say you choose not to pay off any of your debt and it remains at 1.25 minus 1.25. Now, you've now created, let me show you here, 4 million total value assets, total assets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus the total debt, which is 1,250,2,3. You now have 2,750,000 in equity. Okay. Now, if you had just kept the one property and didn't pay off any of the debt, your $1 million property would be worth $2 million in that same time period with 200K. So in this instance, if nothing had changed for 10 years, the $1 million property would be worth 2 mil. The total debt would be 200K. So you would have 1.8 mil in available equity. So you're making the difference between those, nearly $1 million extra by gearing up and getting an extra property. I hope that's clear. Excuse the paint drawing. It's not very conducive to awesome pictures. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and the team and I'll help you.